Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Freight Be Moving, All Things Logistics, with me, Jewel Williams, your host. Welcome back to another episode. Today is episode number 24. Today, I am talking to you about business confidence. But before we get started, I'm asking you to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can be notified when I get new videos. All right. So what prompted this conversation is I read a question and the person asked, how did you get over confidence barriers at the beginning? And do you ever have doubts? Have you ever had doubts about yourself? Absolutely. We have all had doubts. I have had doubts. I'm sure you listening have had doubts, but we always persevere and get through them. But the question of how do you get over confidence barriers actually begins with the story of me getting over my confidence of believing that I could live my life sober. So back in the day, when I got into the wrong crowd, I got to going down the wrong road and I got addicted to drugs. It's not anything that I'm ever proud of. However, because I was able to find my way out of that cloud, that was one huge confidence builder in myself. But how did I start that process? You know, a lot of people that I have read about have always stumbled back. And I told myself that once I started moving forward, there was no stepping back. So I started basically educating myself and learning and understanding the behavior patterns that I was doing in order to move forward. So let me add to that. So in this article, 360 Learning, they talk about what is dopamine and why does it matter. And this plays into that. So it says here that dopamine is a chemical in the brain that controls reward motivated behavior, as in behaviors that we do with anticipation of an expected reward. So the behaviors that I was doing while I was engaging in substance abuse, I was doing that behavior as I was expecting that reward. And of course, many people that are addicted, have addictive behaviors, have those same tendencies. So I learned the first thing was understanding why I was doing the behavior. And so I began to educate myself, which leads me to, as a business owner, I'm going to flip this around so that as a business owner, you can understand how this all fits in. So I'm a John Maxwell speaker, trainer, teacher, coach. And one of the things that I admire, one of my favorite things that I admire about the John Maxwell program is the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And I will be starting a masterclass on that for those of you who are interested. I'm doing a shameless plug and I'm looking to start that in the next 2 weeks. So if you're interested in being a part of that masterclass, and it will be a free masterclass, I would definitely look for the opportunity to have you a part of the group. So, shameless plug, but moving forward, one of the first laws of the 15 invaluable laws of growth is about the law of intentionality. And the law says that growth doesn't just happen, and it doesn't. For me to move from an addictive behavior pattern to a sober and growth behavior pattern, I had to be intentional about that process, about that growth, and about my own development. And I had to learn how to build the tools and the resources and gather those things around me so that I had the correct way of growing, and I could grow in a positive direction. So he talks about having a plan of growth. What is your plan of growth? Just like what was my plan to grow to become where I am today, I also had to have a plan to grow my organization, my business, to what I have today. And the confidence comes as you place those pieces together and lay them out, and you begin to work those pieces. With each reward of accomplishment, you build the confidence, thus the dopamine effect. So building your confidence comes from, first off, establishing where you want to grow to. Where do you want to be? If you are in a 9-to-5 job that you don't like today, where do you want to grow to tomorrow? Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. The process of growth is an everyday movement. One of the first rules of sobriety is one day at a time. You take one day at a time and you just be in that day. Don't worry about tomorrow. If you're going to need whatever you think you're going to need, worry about what's in your environment today, what's in front of you. So as your business, you got to do the same thing. You got to look at what's in front of you today. Don't worry about what's coming down the pipeline and worrying about projections. Yes, you make those projections and you are walking towards those projections, but you're not going to get there overnight. And each day when I would wake up, I had a routine that I would go through. And that routine was sitting down, gathering my thoughts, reading my book on sobriety, and then having a plan as to where I was going to go. I mean, it was so granular. I would say, today I'm going to work, then I'm coming home, then I'm going to cook this meal, then I'm going to wash clothes, whatever the case may be. I had to be granular. But what I was doing was planning the intention of my day and making sure that what I wanted to happen at the end of the day was going to happen. What I didn't want to happen at the end of the day, I knew. I didn't want to go down that road that I had left. What I wanted to do was go down further the new road. And sometimes that unknowing is scary, and it does impact our confidence. So one of the things there's 3 things I'm going to talk about. There's actually 6 gaps that the laws talk about as far as what can interfere with our plan of growth. And I'm going to talk about 3 of them. First one is knowledge. That knowledge, what we don't know. And I've talked about this before about there are things that we know. There are things that others know we don't know. And then there's things that are just unknown that we've not discovered yet. And a lot of times that unknowing can be that fear, and it can impact confidence. So you have to start learning. Growth comes through learning. And I can attest to that. My growth from where I was to where I am today came because I began to feed my mind with knowledge. I began to seek out people who were doing what I wanted to do and absorbing their knowledge. That's the beauty of information age that we're in today. Back then, I had to go to the library. I had to find the books. I had to sit and read the books and absorb and, go back, return the book. And it was a process. Whereas now we've got podcasts like this. We've got videos like this. We have speakers all over the place that can provide knowledge. We have access to knowledge like we've never had access before. So I encourage you to first build a plan of knowledge. How are you going to grow from where you are today to where you want to be, and understand that it is a process. The second gap is that mistake gap. Yeah, I've had that gap too. It's that I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. And if I make that mistake, then somebody's going to say, oh, see, she made that mistake. Look at there. And that, I believe, comes from what we have seen on TV and what we've been fed by others. But you have to challenge those ideologies. If you're going to be a successful business and you're going to grow to the level of success that you want to grow into and beyond, you've got to challenge what you have previously been told and disassemble that lie. If you don't truly believe that the information and the knowledge that someone has given you can no longer carry you to that next level of your life that you so choose, then you've got to face that and challenge it. I had to do that. I had to challenge the lies that people had told me about myself. Because when they said those lies to me, I adopted those lies and I began to act in that manner. And that wasn't true. So first, understanding you have to gain knowledge, and don't be afraid of the mistakes. You're going to make them, but challenge the mistake, learn from the mistake, and challenge when somebody tells you, oh yeah, you made that mistake. Challenge that. No one's perfect, which leads me to the next gap, perfection. I am horrible at trying to be perfect. And I'm not perfect in no way. However, due to incorrect programming from childhood, from schools, from peers, from other siblings, I believe that things had to be perfect. They had to be magnificent. Mwah. Absolutely not. It doesn't exist. You do the best you can with the tools you have. And if you don't have the tools, you acquire the tools through knowledge. You understand that you'll make a mistake. You understand that there is no such thing as perfection. And you repeat. And you keep going through it. So in my journey to get from where I was, which was indulging in substance abuse, to building my mind, building my confidence, building the person that I wanted to be, I had to grow with knowledge. That was the first step. And I kept growing with knowledge. I still am obtaining knowledge every single day. Every single day. I get on my computer, or I open up a book, or I turn on a podcast, whatever the case may be, to gain the knowledge I need to be successful. And when I opened up my business, yes, I had a lot of knowledge about transportation and logistics. I still have it. It's not gone. However, the transportation and logistics entity that I wanted to build, I had to go back and get some more knowledge to do that. So that is my lesson today. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you like what you're hearing, if you find value in the information that I've given you today and any other day, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and then leave me some questions. If you're interested in a mastermind class, a free mastermind class to talk about the law of intentionality and the other 15 valuable laws of growth, hit me up in the comments. I would love to have you as part of my class and help you grow to the next level. Again, peace and love. Be safe out there, whether you are 14, 18, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, however many wheels you rolling on. You might have 8 skate wheels. I need you to be safe. And I need you to make it home to your loved ones each and every day. All right. Peace and love, everybody. Catch you on the next one. Bye.